Super excited for tonight's call, guys. You are in for a real freaking treat. This coach that is speaking to us tonight is one of the top coaches in the network, and she is a freaking boss on Instagram. She's going to be talking to us about that. She's going to be talking to us about her story, which is very, very inspiring if you've never heard it. I'm going to give you some stats because your mind is about to be blown, especially if you're new here. Well, even if you're a veteran like me, it's still amazing to hear. So she's been coaching for about 2.5 years. So some of you guys have been around that long, some of you just signed up, and she's a Success Club 10 legend. So that means that she has helped at least 5 people every single month for 2 years. 2 years, okay? So basically her whole time she's been a coach, she's helped at least 5 people. Many, many more than that, but that is the bare minimum. She was 2018 Premier, which is the second highest tier of coaches, 2019 Elite. She is pre-qualified for 2020 Elite, which is about 30 coaches as of last month. She ended last year at number 22 in the entire company. The company is about 350,000. So put that into perspective. Insane. She is, as of last month, I don't remember this month, it's probably around the same though. She was number 6 in the entire company for this coming year. So she is freaking slaying the game. I'm just going to pass it over to her. She's going to be talking to you guys about all the things. Make sure you have notes ready to freaking go. If your success partner is not on this call, if your upline's not on this call, I give you full permission to harass them to get them on because it's going to be a really, really good one. Let me find her and spot her. Mandie, Kaii, you are up, my sister.
What is up, you guys? Hello. First off, this is the best way to start my week. I've never done a team call on a Sunday, and I'm liking this. So, hello. I'm literally organized on my stuff, and just first off, just thank you for having me. It's an incredible honor to speak to anybody in this entire network about what we do and how we kind of specialize what we're interested in and the things that like are catered to us. So before I kind of kick it into high gear of talking about social media, Instagram specifically, I do want to just give a little bit of a background about me, because a lot of people I've heard, and also myself when I started, I literally thought anybody speaking on a team call, they were like magical. Like they are just made of magic. And I don't know how they came out of the womb that magical, but that's just how they are. Like that's how I thought when I was a newer coach. And so I just resonate so much when people like give the real raw stuff to kick it off, because to be honest, I'm just an average gal that works really hard. Like literally that's all there is to it. But what I wanted to tell you guys is that like never in a million years did I ever think I was going to do network marketing. Never in a million years did I ever love Beachbody. Never in a million years did I even think that I would be anybody to public speak, because that made me want to vomit and throw up and literally pass out. And I wouldn't even FaceTime my girlfriend. I hated video calls that much. And so like, it's wild. It's like so wild to see who I am now. And so a little bit of background about me is I was a college athlete. I traveled kind of all over the place. I played in Seattle, then I played in Switzerland. I lived in New York City, and then I lived in Alabama with my girlfriend for a little bit. And then most of all, I've always had this travel bug. And after college, I was like, well, I still have this travel bug, but I have to go work in the corporate world. So that was fun. But so after college, I got an amazing job in the corporate world. And I was a senior marketing specialist for a big corporation. And I was doing the website design and development, like as a 23-year-old in a senior position, which was amazing. And then society was telling me that I was doing wonderful, and my mom told me I made it, you know, like all of that stuff to like get your entire family and friends like hype team for like you were doing the right things by society. But there's this weird thing in me that I was just like, if this is making it, if this is the feeling of making it, I don't want to make it. Like I don't want to make it to society standards. I remember I gained 25 pounds instantly in the first year of my corporate world. Awful. And not only that, like every single day that I went into office, like people like put donuts on my desk. They knew I was like trying to get healthy, but they put donuts on my desk. They would tell me that like, oh, it's okay, Mandie, just like go do your workouts later, or like think about health and nutrition later. And I'm like, you guys suck. You guys literally suck. Every single person I worked with was over the age of 45 and like miserable in their job. And it made me like wide eye, literally wide eye. I was like, what is going on? Like, society tells us to do these things and like follow this path, and this is what you're supposed to do for the rest of your life. And I remember like feeling every single day that I was sitting at my desk that I was like gaining weight, and I just felt lethargic. I felt empty. I felt unfulfilled, and I felt like every piece of who Mandie Kaii was being stripped away every single day. And it was crazy to me because I was supposed to be happy. I got an education for marketing. I landed a senior position. I was making good money. I was doing all the things. I had the 401k set up, like I was doing all the things, but nothing in my life felt right. And so I remember I was scrolling on Instagram at 2:00 in the morning, you guys. Instagram, 2:00 in the morning, that's like my prime time of when I relate to people, compare myself to people, find things that I'm interested in. It's like 2:00. Last night at 2:00, actually, I was shopping on Lululemon. 2:00, I'm telling you, prime time hour. But I was in this really, really dark stage, and I just got out of a terrible relationship. I'm glad she's never going to be a coach because I'd be awkward about this recording. But terrible relationship, and it was terrible. And so it was a month after I got out of that relationship. I was living at my parents' house. I was 23 years old with that corporate position, living in my parents' house, feeling like absolute horseshit, to be honest. And I was like, what am I going to do? Again, 2:00 in the morning, I was on Instagram to compare myself. Like, it was my mission, like, to look at people's apps, to look at people's lives, to look at people traveling. And it was my mission to use that space so I could feel worse about myself. How effed up is that? Like, literally how effed up that is that. So I remember finding Angie Belmar's my upline. I remember finding her post, and all I saw was a smile. Literally, it's all I saw. Like, it wasn't the money. It wasn't the big house she lived in. It wasn't the dream vacations and all that stuff. It was genuine smiling person that I saw. Like, I didn't care what she was doing. She could have been like literally doing anything. She could be doing 10 cartwheels a day, and that's what made her smile. And I would do 10 cartwheels. Like, that's how I felt. I'm like, I don't know what you're smoking, but I want some of it, And so instantly I signed up. I was like, I don't know, like, take my money. I signed up. Again, at this point, Beachbody was never in my life. I didn't know what Shakeology was. I didn't know what 21 Day Fix is. I didn't know who Autumn Calabrese was. Like, I was just like, take my money, make me happy. And that was my mentality when I got in this business. And so finding this business and finding that I am 25 pounds heavier, I'm not happy. All of these people are happy. Like, what are you guys doing, and how can I do it too? And that was my initial like mission of me being a coach. And then for the first 8 months, I sucked. Honestly, I sucked. I did the things, but I didn't do anything. I did the vitals, I did 20 minutes of personal development. I sent 10 invites. I hit Success Club. And so I did all the things, and on paper, it looked good. But I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in what we were actually doing. I didn't really believe in the programs itself. I was doing them, like half-ass and videotaping myself during the actual program itself, and not even giving my all to what we have to offer. I was showing up on social media every single day, but there was something really huge missing, and that was my belief. Not in Beachbody, but in me. Like, my belief in me was like completely and utterly out the window. Somebody else could have believed in me 10 times more than I believed in myself. And so fast forward to that, I was invited to a diamond retreat. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why still to this day. And Angie said, hey, like, I believe in you, come to this retreat. Literally, I walked in the retreat, all the girls with like open arms, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what is this? Like, what is this thing I'm walking to? And I remember just the feeling of community. I remember the feeling of support. And it was that day, literally not that day, but that time that I finally realized that, like, you don't need to be anybody to become who you want to be in this business. And that was like mind-blowing to me. Like, you don't have to be anybody right now and where you guys are. And I want you guys to just write that down, remember it, and recognize the fact that you don't have to be anybody to be great at this. You have to become somebody that becomes really awesome and believes in yourself wholeheartedly, but you don't have to be anybody and have any skill or do anything prior to you diving all in. And that was like my epiphany. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can do this. Like, I can totally do this. Like, she can do this. She's doing it. He's kind of doing it. And so, like, that was my comparison. My, like, real life comparison is I saw all these girls on Instagram and doing all these things that were, like, doing it, but why couldn't I, And so, like, I finally realized, instead of thinking about the idea that I need to be somebody, I need to start becoming a better version of me. And so I know this is kind of like a long kind of intro of my story, but the reason I even say that is because my social media has evolved immensely since I started. You guys, I was shy. I was one of those people that acted confident that didn't have any confidence. Like, it was like a facade. It was this giant facade. And everyone thought like Mandie Kaii always had it going on, but no, like, girl was wrecked on the inside. And so thinking about my social media, it was like my own before and after. It was my own kind of workout every single day. It was my own type of, just interaction with like who I wanted to become every single day. And so I started using the platform instead of thinking, how do they want to portray me, rather than how do I want to be perceived? Like, how do I want people to look at me, in the sense of like, how do I want to touch people's lives? How do I want to change people's lives? How do I want to be able to influence people to do what I do? Why do I think this is important? And I was thinking about all of these things, and you guys, I'll go into all of these things, so don't be frantic that you didn't catch all that. But thinking about all of these things, like, and then I thought, if we can use like my challenge tracker app to dictate every single, or like to write down every single day that we do our workouts, why don't we use social media in the same way? We use our My Challenge Tracker app to feel supported, to be like in this community, to recognize that we did our workout for the day. So instead of using social media as like this huge display of I'm perfect Mandie, I'm going to start using it as my book that I'm writing of my own life. And I'm going to start writing that every single day. So from day one, when I said, you guys, I'm signing up for this thing, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I want to be happy, one day you guys are going to see it, to now today, where I'm still telling the same story of I'm still moving, I'm still going. No matter where my feet are right now, I'm still growing, and I still have goals. So I'm going to, can I share my screen? Oh yeah. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to use these slides, and then I'm going to go into kind of some other stuff after this. Cool? So let's just break down social media. Okay. So, social media 101 with myself. So first of all, I know that you hear the word influencer all of the time, like everyone throws it around. Influencers, this type of influencer, lifestyle influencer, fitness influencer, blah, 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 blah. But why we actually call anybody on social media that has influence over people is because the word itself, influence, is defined by the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something. So instead of thinking of you guys as an influencer, think about how you can influence others to do the type of things you do on an everyday basis for a positive change in their life. Because as health and fitness influencers, or health and fitness social media storytellers, or health and fitness personnel, or whatever you want to call yourself, as a health and fitness person that wants to help change other people's lives and really instill a healthy lifestyle, what we want to do is we want to have an effect on the character, development, and behavior of someone else doing something that you do, because you've seen it be influenced in your life. You've seen change in your own life. You experienced change in your own life. So you want to show them the way, but the reason we do this is because this is how we're going to influence them. So first and foremost, I love to kind of dictate and like understand this point, because if you can't understand why you're actually sharing every single day and why stories matter, then you lose the effect, then you lose the intention, then you lose the strategy behind everything we do as people on social media. So first and foremost, to understand why you are trying to influence others and how you're going to do it. So to start, how we're going to break this down is, number one is to get obsessed. Number two is to be vulnerable. And number three is to show the F up. So let's focus here first. We're going to be marketing you, not Beachbody. Beachbody is an amazing, amazing, amazing company. It's a multi-million, billion, whatever it is, for a reason. It's changed my life. I know it's changed Sammy's life. I know it's changed so many of your guys' life. And so Beachbody is amazing, amazing. But the reason that people need to market you and you need to market you versus you marketing Beachbody is because Beachbody has its own marketing team and for the corporation, for the company, for all the programs and the products. But the difference between you marketing you versus you marketing Beachbody is you want people to work with you. You want to coach people. You want to influence people to join your team. You want to know that you have people's back. And so you're going to focus on marketing you versus marketing Beachbody. And the way you do that is through experience, right? So you are the brand itself. And this is the kind of questions I ask myself. I ask myself, who is Mandie Kaii? Who am I today? Who do I want to become? Who do I want to be? How do I want to present myself? How do I want people to perceive me? And so who am I? Right now, I'm currently in a relationship with the love of my life, my girlfriend, Danae. I'm currently a California girl. I'm a traveler. I'm a wanderer. I love fashion. I love all these things. I'm happy. I'm positive. But I'm also on a mission for greatness. Like, that's who I am specifically at this moment. I bet you in 5 years, I'm going to be a mom. I'm going to be married. I'm going to do all these things. So it will evolve. It will change. But right now, my brand is this kind of whimsical young entrepreneur that's striving for greatness, right? And somebody that's trying to get healthy and fit on the way. So that's my brand right now. So what does her brand look like? For me personally, my house is pretty neutral colors. I like a lot of darker tones, even though I'm wearing yellow right now. This is literally the only yellow I have in my entire closet, which is ironic. But what does it look like? You know, what is around you? I live next to the beach, so my brand's going to be more beachy. Also, my brand is going to be tied to the fact that I literally love fitness, like, and I adore the fact that like healthy and fit and the actual lifestyle kind of coexist with each other. So my brand's going to look like all of those things. My brand's also going to consist of my cats. It's going to consist of my girlfriend. It's going to consist of my family. It's going to consist of all the things that makes me me, and that's what my brand's going to look like. So what type of feel do I get when I look at her feed? And so you're thinking about your feed like visually. What do I feel? Do I feel happy because she's smiling? Do I feel moody because she's not smiling? Do I feel like I can literally go talk to her because she looks welcoming? Do I feel like I'm inspired because has an amazing transformation? What do I actually feel when I look at her feed? And these are things that I ask myself all of the time. And the next is, what type of energy does she give off? And this is literally me asking about myself. And I will go to my feed and try to look at it in a third person perspective, just so I can really understand what I'm portraying on social media. So the type of energy, am I super like wound up, excited? Am I just happy? Am I kind of bubbly? Like, what does that look like? What does it feel like? Then what colors are associated with her? Like I said, I'm pretty neutral. You'll have pops of red, this one random yellow sweater, I guess. Most of all, pretty neutral tones, black, whites, and blues. And then lastly is, what does her lifestyle look like? And you should be able to go to your page and see the different things in your lifestyle that are true to you. If it's you working out at home, you with your kids, you by the water, you outside shopping, whatever that may look like, that is a piece of your brand. And the reason that your brand is so important is because you're going to be selling you versus you just selling Beachbody. And so I ask myself all of these questions. Next is to find some inspiration. I love Instagram specifically, is because there's literally a plethora of people that are so inspirational, that have such a powerful message, have such a powerful influence on Instagram, that are not associated with Beachbody. And so when I'm telling you, or if I am encouraging you to go out there to find some inspiration, go find some people outside of Beachbody. Some of my favorites specifically are Sarah's Day. I love Carly Christman's. I love Cara Lauren. You guys, I swear I want to be moms like all of these ones. They inspire me. Their lifestyle inspires me. Their look inspires me. Their way of living inspires me. And so I don't want to go to a bunch of Beachbody coaches and look how they do it, because they're going to be associated with a similar kind of company that I'm going to be like marketing and being affiliated with. But I want to see how these women that are not affiliated with the same brand as me, how they influence, how they tap into their marketing or their audience and all of those things. So I get a lot of my ideas or the ways that I do things strategically, especially because specifically on the left, Sarah's Day is a health and fitness YouTuber. So a lot of the ways that she launches her programs or launches her meal guides or launches her fashion, I get from her because she's doing it in a way that's tapping into a market that is similar to mine. Even though she's not launching Beachbody, it's really inspiring to see how she does things because she's marketing something in the similar kind of realm. So I would encourage you guys to go to similar pages, not of these people, but that just inspire you. And if it's these pages too, cool. We should be besties. So examples of things that add to your brand. Number one is your story. Your story, and I love when people say that I don't have a story. First of all, yes, you do. You are one person out of a bajillion people in this world. And no matter what you think, you have a story. No matter if you have to pull it literally deep down from like down under 3 years ago, you still have a story. I promise you. You just have to dig for it. You have to ask yourself the right questions. You have to be okay with being vulnerable. And I promise you guys, you will find pieces of your story that will be just as relatable to your audience as my story is to mine. Number two is your lifestyle, your overall lifestyle. I spend a lot of time at my house. I spend a lot of time with my cats. I spend a lot of time with my girlfriend. And I spend a lot of time at coffee shops. Like, that is my life. That is my lifestyle. And I love the beach. Or that's my lifestyle. All coinciding with those things. So all of those things is going to add to my brand. Number three is the type of workouts you like. Specifically for me, I cannot get down with body weight stuff. Like I just can't. Like I can't physically, like I've tried, I just can't do it. I love grabbing weights. I love doing HIIT workouts with weights. I love like challenging the crap out of my body. And so that's a part of my brand too. So when people go to my Instagram, they know what type of workouts to expect. And if I want to mix it up to give them more value, then I do. But that's a part of who I am, you know, like I'm not going to change the way I work out just to cater towards people that I don't relate to or relate with. Number four is my vibes. I'm very OCD. I'm very clean. I'm very organized. And so a lot of the things that are on my page are very much so like that. Like people ask me all the time, like, Mandie, are you always that clean? Mandie, are you always that organized? I'm like, yes. I'm like OCD queen. So that's a part of my vibes, but also I'm pretty whimsical in the sense that like I could literally book a trip to Dubai right now and I'd be fine. And I would like get up in the plane and I would go. So that's a part of my vibes. And whatever your vibes are, like that makes you you, and it's really rad. Number five is your current state. And I don't mean your current state of like where you live in, but like where are your feet? What part of life are you in? Right now, we are living in an apartment. We just moved from Alabama to California a year ago, and we're in a state where we are going to be buying our first home in California. So like that is a part of my story right now. That's a part of my brand right now. I'm a young, I guess single, marital status, single girl working my business, getting healthy and fit with a rock star team, and I have a mission to be a mom by the time I'm 30. I'm going to be married. I want to have my dream home, and that is the current state that I'm in right now. So that's a part of my brand as well. Number six is how big you dream. And I want you guys to write that down. How big you dream is a part of your brand. You want people to come to your page and be like, oh my gosh, you have the courage to dream that big. You must have some reason to like back that whatever you say, you know? So you dreaming big is a part of who you are, a part of like your brand. If you're just constantly on social media talking about where you are right now, people are like, okay, like, well, what's next, you know? And so you dreaming big is going to be a part of the brand that you're creating, a part of the vision that you're going to be creating for your audience. And number seven, your lifestyle. I switched the two. So your style, your physical style. Like I wear a lot of darker clothes. I'm really into high fashion. I also love Lululemon. And so all of those things are going to tie into my brand. And number eight, you guys, this is really important. Your work ethic is a part of your brand. People know that I have 12-hour days sometimes. People know that I work my butt off to have the lifestyle that I live. People know that I'm constantly talking to my team. People know that I'm constantly working my butt off in the gym. People know all of those things because I want my work ethic to display part of my brand, so I associate and I attract the right type of people to my team and the people that I'm going to be working with. So those are all things that tie into your brand. So what's going to make you you is putting your personality into it. Not Sammy's personality, not Jamie's personality, not Chelsea Pearson's personality, not my personality, not anybody that you see on Instagram's personality, but you. What are the quirky things about you that make you you? What makes you weird? What makes you awkward? What makes you like blush? What makes you cry? All of those things, your personality is a part of your brand. So put more of that into it. You guys, I have like a weird sense of humor when it comes to like sarcasm, and it's a little bit more dry. My girlfriend, for instance, is hilarious, and she's like just a goofball. But me being goofy on Instagram would be so awkward because I don't even know how to put that type of personality into it. Trust me, I've tried, and it feels awkward. It looks awkward. It's not me. And so me being me on Instagram is the most important way for me to be as authentic as possible. So next is content is king. Content is king. Number one is consistency, producing content. You guys, consistency will literally be the dictator of the success of your business, 150%. Not only because it shows that you're going to be there, it also shows your future coaches, your future clients, that you're going to consistently be right by their side. It also creates an amazing resume for the people that find you today or tomorrow, in a year, people that literally find you within a different season of your life. They can go back and see the ebbs and flows that you've gone through, see your story, see all of the things throughout the timeline of you being a coach. And then number two is to use all the hashtag geotags and IG tools. So utilizing content in the best way possible on Instagram to Instagram's liking, I want to say. So if you guys, I've done a lot of research, especially lately, because the algorithms have changed and different ebbs and flows of Instagram and how it works have changed so much since not only the beginning of this year, but the beginning of time that we started. Or I remember literally used to have to post 3 to 5 times on your actual feed to even get seen. And so it's different now, but utilizing the tools that Instagram gives you is only going to give pretty much Instagram the like thumbs up that like, I like using this platform and I'm going to use it the right way. And so that's only going to increase the viewers of your content. Number 3 is to experiment with all types of ways to create content. So using IGTV, using Instagram polls, using all of the things Instagram, and I want to stop showing this just for a second because I want to talk to you guys. So what I've actually seen hugely, you guys, hugely, is that the more that you use Instagram's tools, the more that Instagram pushes your stuff out. And what Instagram is doing lately, and I've done a lot of research on this, and I promise I'm not just pulling this out of my ass, but what Instagram is doing lately, because the algorithms have changed, so you pretty much have, say you have, I don't know, 10,000 followers, and what it does, you post something, and your most recent or most active people on your Instagram pushes out to that first layer. If they love your stuff, then it pushes out to the second layer of people that are active on your Instagram. And if people continue to love on that photo or love on the content that you're creating, it continues to push it out layer by layer of how many people are active on your specific feed. And so think about this. If you're creating really great quality content and you get past that first layer and then you get past the second layer and then you get past that third layer, then that means more views on your page. That means you're getting seen more, and then also means that you're getting to get seen by people that are not necessarily following you and pushing you up to the explore page. And so Instagram is literally cracking down on the things that you like, that your audience likes, that the people around you like, because they're doing it in such a strategic way to show you, hey, this is what other people like, this is what other people, and it's constantly doing that in front of your face. I don't know where my slides just went. Dang it. Okay. Let me just go back to these. Sorry. So what I want to show you guys is the differences of my feed, specifically of when I first started. So 2017, I was posting things like this, namaste every day. I don't even know, I don't even say things like that. And so I was doing the things on Instagram that I saw like yogis doing and all of these people doing. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to do that too. And so I got in my dark room at my parents' house and got a light lamp to the right of me, not in front of my face. And it's just awkward, to be honest, like really awkward. And I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, so that was 2017, but I've grown to become the quote unquote influencer or the quote unquote content creator that I am now because of so much practice and repetitions and consistency every single day. And so I've learned how to pose, I've learned how to do things, I've learned how to create really great, awesome quality content because I've practiced it throughout the years. 2017, this is what my photo looked like. 2018, it got a little better, but it's still like weird. And then 2019, it's super sharp quality content and I look more whimsical and more like who I am today. And then I think these are so funny. I mean, you can even see the difference in confidence in my face throughout this process. In 2017, I didn't want to even show my face for some weird reason. 2018, I'm standing there awkward, please take a picture of me, but hurry up because I want this done. In 2019, I'm like, you guys, it is so much fun traveling. I love this shit, blah, blah, blah. And so this is my personality is radiating in 2019, but it's because I've practiced it every single day for the last 2 years. And I've practiced, and it's so funny to see, I think, this before and after, just in the quality of this content, but it took practice. And I want you guys to recognize the fact that I didn't just show up one day being able to take really awesome pictures. I really had to practice. So next is your content matters. And that's what I was just kind of getting to. So number one is to take photos outside or in front of natural light. So you always want your light in front of your face shining on your face so you don't cast shadows. Number two is the give a shit attitude. Literally, if your floor is a mess and you look like a mess, your audience is going to think that you're a mess. And maybe that's going to, I don't know, make them not trust you as much. For instance, for me, like if I saw somebody that was an absolute train wreck on social media, I wouldn't think that they would be there for me every step of the way through my fitness journey or every step of the way through my my coaching journey, you know? And so just give a crap about your background, like clean it up, you know, wipe off your camera. Number three is to plan your post if you're busy. This was huge for me. I was working a corporate job. I was working 60 hours a week. I was driving to and from work, both in the dark. So I had no time to take photos when I was working during the week. I literally had to take all of my photos on the weekend and then plan them accordingly. So if you guys are busy, I totally understand, but that doesn't give you the okay not to do your job and show up on social media. Number four is to take a mass amount of photo at one time if you guys are busy. Number five is caption the why, not just the what. Write that down. Caption the why, not just the what. For a long time, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to post on social media and tell people about my journey. I'm just going to say I'm right here, right now on a social media call because Sammy's speaking for me tomorrow. You know, like that's not why I'm here. I'm here because it's my mission to help others through this journey. I'm here because I'm excited to show you guys the ebbs and flows that I've gone through, the trials and errors that I've gone through and pay it forward in this way. I'm excited because we have a platform to change people's lives. I'm excited to show you guys if you can really grasp the idea of consistency and great content, you guys can make that positive change as well. So thinking about all of those things, like that's why I'm here. I'm not here just because Sammy and me are switching team calls. I'm not here just because it's easy to talk about social media. I'm here to create a positive change so we can really do an amazing thing and help literally stop the trends of obesity. And that's why I'm here. So I would tell that journey or in that story on my social media, not just, yep, just posted on another team call, you know? And that goes along with all of my workouts. Like if I'm working out and I'm working out my butt or something, or I'm doing booty day for 80 up session and you're using bands, you're going to talk about why you're using those bands. Why do you use resistance? How does that help your gains or whatever that may be? So you're going to talk more about that why, not just the what. Number six is to continue to tell your story every single day. A lot of times I feel like coaches, especially, we're like, I don't want people to get bored. I'm just talking about myself too much. Well, you're using social media to grasp the content and grasp the idea that you're going to influence others with your story every single day. And I promise you guys, it doesn't get old for people. I still to this day am following like people on social media that I've heard their story 3 million times and I continue to listen to it because they've influenced me in some way. They've pulled at my heartstrings. They've literally made me feel like they're like my best friends, and even though they don't know my name, but they really make me feel like that. Number seven is to add value before you ask. Add value before you ask. What I mean by this is to continually add value, and then ask your audience if they want to join you. For a long time, I thought, you know what, I should just post about my challenge group and everyone's going to join me because I'm a coach, you know? But it was such a skewed perception for me to expect that people wanted to join me before I gave them anything, you know? And so I had to continue add value, and show them my workout, show them the change that I'm making, show them how I'm helping clients, show them how I'm doing all of these things before I say, hey, and if you want to join me, drop an emoji below. Or if you want to join me, let me know, you know. And then number 8 is to tell the whole story from day one. For a long time, I thought before and afters are what make and break literally health and fitness coaches, or before and afters is what becomes inspiring, right? But the truth is the whole story is so much more captivating, so much more inspiring than the just before and after photo at the end. And so I get new coaches all of the time tell me, well, should I not post on social media until I have a transformation? No, honey, you gotta show it from day one. Show them what you're going through. Show them the pain. Show them the process. Show them the ebbs and flows, because they may be feeling the exact same way, and that's what's going to change the way that they think about themselves, that they're going to work out today. That's why they're going to get you to sign. You're going to get them to sign up with you, and that's why your story is going to matter to your audience. It's because you showed up when it felt wrong. You showed up when it was hard. You showed up even though that you are still going through it, you know, and so you're going to continue to show it for them as well. So what to talk about? What to talk about on social media? So some things to talk about. Something to talk about is, why are you using the products? Why? And this is going back to, you're not leading with Beachbody, you're leading with you, and you're leading with your experience. Why are you using the products? Why do you drink Shakeology every single day? For me, I had really huge signs of IBS, and so my digestive health is a lot better. The balances of my healthy fats have literally transformed my gut health. Also, energy levels has helped me immensely after using Shakeology. I wasn't getting enough certain nutrients because of the way that I eat, and so Shakeology has transformed the way that I feel. I use it every single day because I know what it's doing for my body, and I know how it's going to transform not only my body, but how I can show you that it can transform yours as well. And then next is, why is this lifestyle important to you? This lifestyle, this health and fitness lifestyle, not just showing up to your workouts, getting before and afters, losing 10 pounds, gaining 10 pounds, losing 10 pounds, and going back and forth, but why is changing your lifestyle and instilling a healthy lifestyle important to you specifically? What about this lifestyle attracts you? Or what about it makes you want to always be healthy? Is it your kids? Is it your loved ones? Is it because you just genuinely want to feel better? Is it because you've lost 25 pounds and you know what it feels like on the other side of things? So why is this lifestyle important to you? And then the next one is, how are you helping others? This is a really great question, because a lot of times we think that people just assume that they know what we're doing. They assume that they know we sell programs. They know that we help coaches because we say we're a coach. But what you have to be is very clear on how you're going to help them. You're going to get them in an accountability group. You're going to hold them accountable. You're going to support the crap out of them. You're going to be there for them. You're going to show them the way. And you're also going to answer every single question that they have and root them on like nobody ever has before. You're going to do all those things, but you have to share it in a public setting so people really understand the value of working with you, not just with any other Beachbody coach. And then next is, what value does this post serve? I ask myself this question every single time I post. What value does this post serve? How is this helping somebody? And I ask myself these questions to go along with it. And I just question I don't question myself, but I question the intent behind each post. Am I doing it for likes? Am I doing it because I think that it's going to genuinely help people? Am I watching the saves? Am I watching the ebbs and flows of my actual Instagram overall? And so to ask these questions to yourself is, and kind of go along with these things, is to speak like you do in person. I see all the times people posting on Instagram, and it's like this rigmarole of just so much information, and I know the person doesn't speak like that, and it just gets so confusing and so disconnected to authenticity. And so speak like you do in person. If you say a lot, type it out. If you talk in slang, type it out. If you say y'all instead of you guys, type it out. And then be candid, be entertaining, be exciting, be the person that you are in real life on social media. And then use normal person lingo. Not every single person knows what a challenge pack is. Not every single person knows what HD is or Shakeology even is. And so use normal person lingo. And what I mean by that is that instead of saying a challenge pack, you can say your fitness workout program packages, whatever it may be. However, you're going to cultivate the just normalcy of being able to talk about that thing. And then your job is to help create a positive change. When in doubt, do that. Your job is to help create a positive change. When in doubt, do that. No matter what, if you have nothing to talk about positivity. Talk about how you're going to create a positive change in your life today. Talk about how you've created a positive change in somebody else's life yesterday, and how you're going to continue to do it every single day from this day forward. And then if you have a problem, I love being transparent. I love being vulnerable. I love talking about the issues and the things that I go through. But if you are talking about a problem, you always share the solution, because you don't want to go on social media and just talk about whatever your problems are. And people are annoyed and they think that you're complaining. But if you go in there and you talk about a problem you have, but you have a solution to back it, that is the most inspirational way to talk about a problem that you've overcome. And then next is, or last, is to be vulnerable AF, but breadcrumb it. Don't spill the beans in one post. And what I mean by this is because Danae, and I'm gonna stop sharing this for a second, but Danae and I went through hell literally hell. If you guys know any part of my story, I don't even think anybody on this team would. But so Danae and I lived in Alabama. We were ostracized like a MFer for being a same-sex couple. And we were sent Pray the Gay Away flyers and all of this stuff, like just hell. We were told that we were burning in hell, that we need to get help, that we needed to do all these things. And it was a catastrophe. And I don't want to go too much into it, but instead of me going on Instagram right then and there and be like, you guys, tonight we got sent a Pray the Gay Away seminar and that was our life. How awful would that be to all of the people following me? Instead of me going to say that to them, you know what? In a week when I get over it, I'm going to talk about, you know, the way I feel about myself and how I don't let public opinion or other people's opinions stray the value I hold in my self-worth. Like I'm not going to do that, you know, and I'm not going to just continue to talk about all of the things that suck in my life or all of the things that we're going through or all of the things that, you know, don't feel right. Today, for instance, Danae and I had like an emotional day. Like, I don't even know what the hell was going on. But we just had an emotional day and everything that was going on in our life, like seemed like it was just like in high intensity. You know, you have those days where you're just like, I want to scream, I want to cry, I want to scream, I want to punch something, I want to do something. And it was just one of those days. And instead of me going on social media and being like, life sucks, you know, which I wanted to do, to be honest, I just told them, you guys, it was a stressful day. I'm going to go do some meditation, go do some yoga. I'm going to fix this. We're going to talk about social media later tonight, and it's going to be gravy, you know? And so thinking about all of the shit that we go through, you guys, life is hard. Life is hard. Adulting is hard AF. Hard AF, you know? Adulting's not fun sometimes. Sometimes it literally, I'm like, can I just be 3 years old again and like cry and it'd be good? But it's hard. But the more vulnerable you can get and the more positive change you can make and the more positive influence that you can have in your own life, the better that you will be for your audience, the better that you'll be for your next coach, for your next client. So instead of thinking the world is happening to you, how are you changing the world with your positivity? I ask myself that every single day because I went through a year of hell. Living in Alabama was hell, literally hell. And you guys, can you imagine going to a wedding and you're the photographer of it? And it's your girlfriend's sister's wedding. And not only that, you were getting not paid for being the photographer of it and you're for free, but you're just the girl that somehow is here from California, not even associated to anybody here. Or sitting at Thanksgiving and being like, hey, Danae, do you have a boyfriend yet? Like, hey guys, still here, you know? I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing that I necessarily, Danae, could do about it in that time. You know, there's a lot of shit going on, but instead of us saying, you know, life sucks, we got to have this one thing in our life, this one thing that we had full control of, this one thing that literally we had the power to change not only our life with, but also others. And so instead of thinking about social media as I have to be so vulnerable, I have to share all the shit I'm going through, I have to do all these things, you know, I'm not where I am in my health and fitness journey, or I don't want to show people the like back fat I have, whatever it may be to you right now, all of the stuff that you're going through, instead of thinking about all the stuff you're going through, what about all of the people following you? What are they going through? How can you help them? How can you literally help them? And so we started using our story. We started using our story to say, you know what? Life gets hard. It continues to throw knives at you sometimes. It continues to like step on you when you're trying to get out of a hole. It continues to do all these things, but the only thing that we can do is continue to show the light. That's all we can do. And so what's really crazy about all of those things is that you guys, every single person on this call, everyone listening to the recording, everybody in Beachbody, we have a perfect community of people that want to create positive change, healthy positive change. Instead of blaming Beachbody for it being hard, for you being vulnerable, think it every damn day. Every single day. Say, I get to show up on social media to create damn positive change, even when life hits all of the fans. You know, like when life literally feels like a tornado, you get to come into this cute little tunnel of social media and say, you know what? Life's a tornado. F life right now. It's fine, you know, but here's my people. Here's a community that I get to cultivate in a positive way. Here's all of the change that I get to make every single day. And not only that, I get to go to the team pages and say, these people are living up. You know, these people have already done it. I bet Sammy's going through some shit right now. I bet Mandie's going through some shit right now. I bet Megan's going through some shit right now. No matter if they're going through shit right now, they're still showing up. They're still on these calls. You guys, it blows my mind to think that you're like, people think, and I know, and I only say this with such conviction because I was that girl, that we think people are so damn special they don't go through shit, or we think that we are so special that we're going through some special shit, you know? And so I'm like, my mind gets blown. We're all adults. We're all doing this thing called life. We're all here for a reason. You guys signed up as a Beachbody coach for a damn reason. You signed up to make positive change. You guys, if you wanted to just be a part of a community, I promise you guys, there's like Girl Scouts, there's so many different things. You guys can go back to college and be a part of a sorority. You can do all these different things. You can be a part of a knitting club. You can go play bingo. I don't care. You came to Beachbody. You came to this team. You came to this opportunity because you wanted to not only be a part of something, you also wanted to have some sort of fulfillment. You also wanted to have some piece of influence in other people's lives because you knew that was going to make you feel good. So instead of blaming this damn opportunity that it is hard, that it doesn't feel good to be vulnerable, get freaking over yourself and say, you know what, this is a gift. This is amazing. I am so elated that I get to be here, and it gets to be hard because every single day that you show up, you're that much closer to the person that you want to become. Not the person that you are today, but the person that you get to become. I know this call was about social media. I just went on a tangent, but most of all, you guys, this opportunity is such an amazing thing. And no matter how many roller coasters it goes through like this, you know, as it continues to go, because no matter where you are in the company, no matter how successful you are, and Sammy will tell you this, I will tell you this, Ashley Molstad will tell you this, that it gets hard and it continues to be hard and it's never going to be easy. But the ones that arise to the top are the ones that say, you know what, I enjoy the hard. I enjoy this gift. I enjoy this platform, and I'm going to continue to create positive change no matter what shit I'm going through, because people are going through shit all the time. You know, and so instead of using your social media as, oh, I have to cultivate and just curate the perfect content, tell your damn story. Get excited about this opportunity. Show up every single day, because it's not just for you. It's for the people that are following you. It's for the family that you promised, that you signed up for this for a reason. It's every single day that you're doing something with conviction that you're going to create that positive change. That is all I have for you. I can go on about this for literally an hour, but I'm going to leave it at that.
Dude, so good. My favorite thing was to do, like, people think that they're going through their own special shit, because that is so true. I did that. I think we all do that at some point, where it's like, I'm the busiest. I'm going through the hardest thing. This is the worst day of my life, and all these different things. And it's like, we justify why we're not doing the things because we don't want to do the things. And I mean, Mandie and I can both say from experience that going through this business, every top coach first and foremost will say consistency, consistency, consistency. And it's like, I really believe people dig, and the treasure's right there, and they stop digging and they give up. It's because they stop being consistent. And so if you guys have questions, we'll probably take one or two tops. Mandie, your story is so inspiring. And I guess, you know, when you get into a rut and you're having a bad day and you remove yourself, my biggest question to you, and I know a lot of my coaches would wonder too, is how do you get back? How do you continue to do the things? Do you just force yourself, get out of your head? Do you say affirmations? Do you read a certain personal development book? Like, what's your go-to to get back on?
100%. I get this question all the time because people genuinely think I'm an animal, because I'm like, I don't know how to say this without saying this. I'm such a dude when it comes to this business. Like, my emotions are literally in a ball and kicked over to the side. Like, I'm not an emotional person when it comes to the business, because I know what my emotions can do to the business. Like, it will wreck them. If you allow your emotions to leak into the business when it comes to ebbs and flows, your business is going to be wrecked. Can you imagine, like, the CEO of like Apple or like Starbucks or like any corporation, like having like sales drop and he's like, oh shit, it's done. This business sucks. Like, you know, can you imagine? No, he's just got to get back on the game and go back to it. So one of the biggest things I listen to, and I don't know what it's called right now, but it's this Tony Robbins, it's a Tony Robbins like 30-minute video, and it talks about priming. And if you guys have ever been to UPW or any Tony Robbins event, it's the best thing ever. first of all, go. Second of all, but it's about priming. It's about priming yourself, getting into a state and refocusing because of your income producing activities and the ways to get you to your goals. And so it's literally, and Sammy, after this, I can send it to you. I have to find it though. But it's this one video, and I've listened to it probably a good 300, 400 times. And I used to listen to it every single morning because it just got me into a state where it just was like the one thing that I could kick it into high gear and like take all of the hard stuff and throw it out the window and like just get to work. What is your best piece for brand new coach who feels like? Oh, honey, that's a good question. So her question was for a brand new coach who feels like a little fish in a big pond. Okay, I love this question because first of all, I started with 0 followers. 0 followers. I started a brand new account. I hid myself. My warm market wasn't a thing because I was scared of them. And so I was somebody that had nobody. Like I didn't even have a pond. I was like dried land, like, you know, and so like I was like flopping, like waiting to find some water. But my biggest piece of advice to that is it's not about the followers. It's not about the experience. It's not about all of the things that you think that would make a successful coach. It's just about getting up and going like without second guessing yourself, being fearless, being courageous. And I know that so much, oh my gosh, I even feel like a little fish in a big pond in social media because it's huge, right? And it's scary sometimes. And I totally feel like that. And I'm like, well, how can I do more? You know, like how can I get more likes or how can I get more people on my page? Like how can I tap into more people? And so I think about that and I compare myself often, you know, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It happens all of the time. But the one thing that I have to remember is that I'm not here to change the world right now. I'm here to change one life at a time. One life at a time. So if you can tell yourself, you know what, every single connection that I make, every authentic conversation that I have, every single person that I talk to, every person that is now in my circle, that's one more life that I get to change. I'm not trying to change the entire world at one time. I'm one person running one business and I can only do so much. And so instead of thinking about yourself feeling little, think about how much power you have in such a freaking ocean. You know, you have the power. And so instead of looking at it and being like, oh shit, just like, yes, like I have the power. There's so many people's lives that need to be changed and I have the solution. And so if you feel confident enough to be able to kind of like put your chest out and say, I got this, that is where you change that idea or like the feeling of feeling small versus it doesn't really matter because my pond is my damn pond. And if anybody wants to compare ponds, like my pond's my pond and nobody else can compare ponds because I only got my pond, you know? And like that's the attitude that you have to have in this business. And it comes with experience. And I don't mean experience as in I have more experience in life or I have more experience. I mean, it comes from experience in deciding that every single day and taking it every single day at a time and not expecting that you're going to ever feel different because you won't. And like Sammy just said, like, I feel the same way. Like you're never going to feel different. You're never going to feel big, bold, and brave, you know? Even the top coaches in this entire network, doing so many great things, having huge teams, even those coaches feel small sometimes. And it's not necessarily about the comparison game. It's more so just what can you do today? How can you change people's lives? What is my goals? And instead of comparing yourself, just focus on you and leave that shit to the rest of the world, you know?
So good. Dropping mics everywhere. All right, guys. I'm going to let Mandie have the rest of her night to herself. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday night with us. We seriously appreciate you. I have tons of notes over here. But tomorrow, guys, if you are going to be jumping on, it is the Team Fight to Finish call at 8:25 Eastern. We have one of our own speaking. So I will see you guys then. Well, I won't personally. I'll be speaking on Mandie's call. But have a great night. And thank you again so much.
Bye, guys. Thank you. Bye.